Good evening. Coming up tonight,
the election for Columbia's new mayor is wrapping up. Find out where the polls stand and what to know moving forward.
Also, once you know it, the queens of Gamecock women's basketball are making big strides to start their season, but how might they face some difficulty ahead? We'll let you know tonight.
And finally, two unlikely campus groups came together to give back in the season of giving thanks. More on what they did coming up.
But first, we had a bit of a warmer day here in the capital city, but the big question is, when will we get chilly again? Our meteorologist Kaden Dingett is here in the studio to give us the latest. What have you got for us, Kaden?
Thank you, Finn. So coming up this week, we are going to see a little bit of warmer temperatures, but we will see that temperature drop once again, but it is not here to stay for very long. We'll talk a little bit more about why that is coming up later on in the show. But that's all I have for the weather forecast for right now, but stay tuned to watch the rest of the night.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse studio, this is SGTV Nightly News. Good evening, Carolina. I'm Finn Carlin.
And I'm Joshua Teckel. Thanks for joining us tonight. The polls just closed this evening for Columbia's runoff election for mayor.
Councilwoman Tamika Devine and Councilman Daniel Rickeman have been battling to replace Mayor Steve Benjamin as the 37th mayor of Columbia.
Now, runoffs are called for when no candidate receives at least 50% of the vote, which is what happened during the general election back in November 2nd.
At the time, Rickeman gained around 43.5% of the vote, while Devine followed closely behind with 30.2%. As the votes are still being counted, we'll keep you updated on the results. All right, we're going to go ahead and get a look at the latest developments for COVID-19 around the state and right here on campus.
In South Carolina, positive COVID cases have continued to drop over the past week, but there was a slight rebound today.
There are about 350 confirmed cases reported in the state, adding to a total of 727,981 cases in South Carolina.
8 new confirmed deaths were also reported today, adding to the total 12,141 deaths, with only one probable death.
And moving closer to home, though the flu season is underway, we have seen no big rise in positive COVID cases on campus.
There weren't any new cases reported today. 33 students and staff are currently positive for the virus.
The percent positive of COVID tests has risen to around 0.9% from 0.7% when the dashboard was last updated.
As of right now, about 67.8% of the Columbia campus is fully vaccinated against COVID-19, and the university's alert level remains at a new normal. Developers here at the university may have broken ground for car manufacturers around the country.
An inspection tool that uncovers flawed car parts and paint jobs have grabbed the attention of Ford, Toyota, Volvo, General Motors, and Volkswagen.
Probably because this tool is already in our pockets.
Using an iPhone app, car makers can possibly do away with their $75,000 cameras normally used for inspecting their parts.
During a test run at a Ford Motors plant, the app has already prevented 200 defects and saved hundreds of thousands of dollars in production errors.
Thanks to the U of SC Digital Transformation Lab, university faculty and students have a hub where they can solve real-world problems for businesses such as IBM, Dell, and Siemens. Well, USCPD and Gamecock Pantry partnered for the first time to collect canned goods for those in need. Now, it seems like a normal food drive, but it's a new way for these cops and canines to serve their community. It's an unlikely team up, but Emily Brady and Sarah Benton with Gamecock Pantry say it's exactly what they needed.
This is extremely exciting. We've never done a drive on campus this big before. To see a turnout like this, they got the dogs, they got the cars. It's kind of a big production for us, and it's very exciting.
And the production brought people together to pass along their non-perishable food items in a big way. From cans to boxes and bags, fighting hunger here at home has become a little easier. In the spirit of Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, Police and Pups gave Protect and Serve a whole new meaning. And Josh, it was just so great to see the community come together in the season of giving thanks to help give back to the community through this canned food drive.
I'm really excited that you got to see that and kind of bummed I didn't actually get to catch that for myself. I have tons of food, especially dry goods, that I could have donated myself. Is there an opportunity for me to come by and do that again another time?
Yeah, absolutely. Gamecock Pantry is actually going to be hosting some more food drives over the course of the month. You can check that out on their Instagram page, and also you can check them out on Garnet Gate for more of that information. Now, coming up, we're going to give you the latest on sports updates in football and volleyball. Our very own, our own Isabella Keating will give you the updates, so stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone. There's big updates with Gamecock Basketball. SGTV News 4 sports anchor Isabella Keating is here to tell us more. Isabella?
As expected, the South Carolina's women's basketball team is off to an incredibly smooth start this season. But after a pair of free wins to open the year, Don Staley's crew is now facing their first piece of adversity. The team announced today that the freshman Raven Johnson will miss the remainder of the season after suffering a knee injury in last Friday's win over South Dakota State. Johnson, the number 2 overall recruit of ESPN's class of 2021, is the reigning Naismith and Women's Basketball Coaches Association High School Player of the Year. In a Twitter upload by Gamecock Women's Basketball, Johnson sounded in good spirits, stating, quote, "This is a minor setback for a major comeback. You will see Raven Hollywood Johnson again," unquote. The Lady Gamecocks will take the court again tomorrow for their home opener against the Clemson Tigers, with tip-off set for 7 p.m. over at Colonial Life Arena. Now let's move out of the Palmetto State and up to North Carolina, because something big happening for the Carolina Panthers this weekend. And I'm not necessarily talking about their monster win over Arizona Cardinals. I'm talking about the return of Superman. Panthers fans have been feeling the nostalgia of 2015 as they've watched their beloved quarterback Cam Newton scoring touchdowns in Panthers uniform once again. Although former number 1 overall pick and league MVP didn't get the start on Sunday, Newton certainly made a dramatic reappearance in his first 2 snaps of the game. Newton cashed in with touchdowns on each, 1 rushing followed by 1 passing. The moment of the day, however, came with Newton's celebration following his first trip to the end zone. Newton, elated as ever, quickly took his helmet off and had just 2 words for the crowd and the camera: "I'm back." Carolina is preparing Cam to start this upcoming Sunday in what will be a highly emotional game, with Newton making his much-anticipated return to Charlotte against former head coach Ron Rivera. The Panthers hope their all-time leading passer and former face of the franchise will lead them back to the playoffs in what could shape up to be the magical turnaround of the roller coaster season.
All right, thanks so much, Isabella. Now, from hot cocoa to ice cream and everything in between, we've got some events coming to the USC and Columbia area to let you treat yourself. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone. We have the latest on some exciting events coming very soon. I'm Callista Yost.
And I'm Zane Heinlein. Let's get started.
Real talk. 2 of my biggest guilty pleasures are boba and ice cream. And the good news for me is, on Friday, Cremo Ice Cream and Gongcha Boba Shop just opened up in 5 Points. They serve rolled ice cream and boba tea all in one place at the south tip of the 5 Point district. And James, oh my God, Zane, am I okay?
I don't know.
I've had too much boba, I think.
You should go get some ice cream after
I know,
this.
I think so. What
Ooh.
is your favorite boba flavor?
Oh, I love a good rose tea, a good matcha.
Okay.
Ooh, how about you?
I am just this classic black milk tea.
Oh no,
girl.
you gotta, the classic's always the best.
It is.
For sure. You like jazz? Well, if you do, the Carolina Alive Jazz Vocal Ensemble will be having a free performance tomorrow night from 7:30 to 9 at the School of Music Recital Hall, room 206.
The group will be unplugged, performing a cappella combined with keyboards, combo, and big bands.
If you can't attend in person, no worries. The performance will be live streamed on the school's YouTube channel. I am a little sucker for jazz music.
I just love the sound of saxophone. It's like
For
my
sure.
favorite instrument sound ever, so I think this is going to be such a cool
I
opportunity.
do feel like Ryan Gosling from La La Land, though. Just can't get enough of that jazz music.
Ooh, perfect.
sure.
Calling all U of SC alumni in the Columbia area, Cookies and Cocoa with Cocky will be this Thursday at the Pastides Alumni Center.
You can bring your families to get a professional photo with our beloved mascot Cocky, drink some free hot cocoa, and do some fun crafts. There will also be a children's book reading by Gamecock great Connor Shaw. I will definitely be attending that.
I know. I wish we were alumni.
Oh, that's
we
right.
We need to find some kids and
We
bring
do.
them in. We'll pretend.
And that free hot cocoa, can't get enough.
Yes.
Release your inner Robert Frost this Thursday at the Starbucks in Thomas Cooper Library for a poetry reading from 8 to 9 p.m.
Held by Universe, U of SC's poetry initiative, students can enjoy poems read by fellow peers, faculty, staff, or even read one themselves.
Callista, do you write poetry?
I wish I was cool enough to write poetry.
True.
I'm not artsy, I'm not
I
artistic.
think you can do. I think everyone has a little art bug.
Okay,
in them.
I'll write something soon and I'll show you.
Okay,
I'll show you.
I'll look forward to it.
Coming up, meteorologist Caden Dinkins is back to tell us if we will be falling for this cool weather, so stay with us.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's look at some weather headlines for this week. Starting off today, we had a sunny and 75 from today. Quite nice outside, a little bit warm, quite nice and sunny with a few clouds in the sky. We have some average temps through the rest of the week, and that temp drops on Friday, and then the Sunday warms up once again. So the state highs today, like I said, Columbia was a high of 75. Also with Orangeburg at 75, those were the highest of the state. And then we had relative low 70s, and then the higher 60s in the upstate. And then on the coast, we had a 68 in Hilton Head, and the lowest of the state was 66 in Myrtle Beach with a 70 in Charleston. Relatively average, if you will. This week we have, like I said, sunny, and we have another sunny and 75 starting tomorrow on Wednesday with a low of 51. Thursday is mostly sunny with a high of 77 and a low of 45. And then Friday we have a temperature drop, quite a few degrees, to 61 as the high and a low of 35. It's going to be quite chilly, so make sure you bring your jackets out. And that temperature drops once again on Saturday with a high of 57 and a low of 39. With mostly cloudy, those clouds bringing that temperature down quite a little bit more. So bring those jackets once again for that game day we're going to be having against Auburn this weekend. And then Sunday, it is partly cloudy with a high of only 64 and a low of 44. And then Monday with a high of 66 and a low of 43. Now I want to jump backwards to the state highs. And kind of talk a little bit about those average temperatures, because we keep talking about how we want to see these fall temperatures, and we're seeing it quite warm here. But I will say, for the month of November, these are relatively average temperatures, with that average being between 68 and 71 degrees. So we're actually a little bit above average, but mostly we stay consistent in the regular average temperatures at the beginning of the day, but then we get peak temperatures like 75 in the middle of the day moving on. But right now here in Columbia, South Carolina, it is 60 degrees. It feels like 63, so it feels, actually that is not right. It feels like 59 outside. It's a little bit cooler than it actually is. Or it feels a little bit cooler than it actually is, with those winds going southwest at 3 miles an hour, a humidity of 62%. It is cool and clear with that sky cover of only 3% and that sunset at 5:19. It's crazy how much earlier it's setting now, but hopefully we're all getting used to it soon. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Stay tuned for tonight's edition of Carolina Canines.
And finally
Tonight's Carolina Canine is Coco. Coco was sent in by 1080C's very own Trevor Valentine. She is a 7-month-old Chihuahua Terrier mix.
her favorite activity to do during the day is to take naps. That is, in fact, when she doesn't have the zoomies. She loves to play and is filled with energy. Her favorite treats are anything that include peanut butter. Coco loves car rides, and her only demand is that she has to ride in the passenger seat.
You know, Josh, they say that, Coco has a lot of energy, but there she is, just kind of strolling in the passenger seat in the car. It doesn't look super high energy to me. Maybe Coco's belting out the music that they're playing in the car.
Yeah,
maybe
possibly.
That's where the high energy comes in.
Well, she is kind of secured in that basket that she has in the passenger seat. I'm not sure if it was taken from a baby stroller or not, but it looks real secure and safe and kind of cozy, actually.
I mean, most people call those either car seat or maybe booster seat. Would it be called a dog seat in this case?
It didn't look like a regular car seat to me, so it just must have been custom made for her.
Must be a doggone good car ride. That was low-hanging fruit. I can get some better ones next time.
Good one. That's all we have for tonight's edition of SGTV Nightly News.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV@USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For SGTV Nightly News, I'm Joshua Teckle.
And I'm Finn Carlin. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina, forever to be.